the pleasure, the privilege to yield to the great Commonwealth of Massachusetts to place a name in nomination for the presidency of the United States.
Members of the convention, sometimes in the heat of a political convention, we forget the grave responsibilities which we as delegates possess. For we here today are selecting a man who must be more than something of a good candidate, more than a good politician or a good liberal or a good conservative. We are selecting the head of the most powerful nation on earth, the man who literally will hold in his hands the power of survival or destruction, of freedom or slavery. We are selecting here today the man who, for the next 4 years, will be guiding for good or evil, for better or worse, the destinies of our nation and, to a large extent, the destinies of the free world. We must therefore think beyond the balloting of tonight and tomorrow, to think beyond even the election of this November, and think instead of the 4 years ahead and of the crises that will come in them. Of overwhelming importance are the mounting threats to our survival that confront us abroad, that require a prompt return to firm and decisive leadership. Each Republican year of indecision and hesitation has brought new communist advances in Indochina, in the Middle East, in North Africa, in all the tense and troubled areas of the world. The grand alliance of the West, that chain for freedom forged by Truman and Marshall and the rest, is cracking, and its unity deteriorating and its strength dissipating. In such a period, one man and one man only can bear the full and final responsibility of leadership, not his cabinet, not his assistants, not his vice president, only the President of the United States himself. It is for these reasons that I ask this convention in these deliberations on the presidency to consider these years that lie ahead and the necessity of selecting a president with the courage and the vigor and the vision equal to the task. And consider, too, the 4 years that face us as a nation here at home. For here, too, the absence of new ideas, the lack of new leadership, the failure to keep pace with new developments have all contributed to the growth of gigantic economic and social problems, problems that can perhaps be postponed or explained away, but problems that during the next 4 years will burst upon us with continuing velocity. The problems of the nation's distressed farmers, the problems of our declining small business, the problems of our maldistribution of economic gains, the problems of our hopelessly inadequate schools, and the problems of our nation's health. These are the problems that cry for solution. They cry for leadership, or they cry for a man equal to our times. And the Democratic Party can say to the nation today, we have such a man. We can offer to the nation a man uniquely qualified by inheritance, by training, and by conviction to lead us out of this crisis of complacency and into a new era of fulfillment and a newer life. During the past 4 years, his wise and perceptive analysis of the world crisis have pierced through the vacillations and the contradictions of official Washington to give understanding and hope to people at home and abroad. And his eloquent, courageous, and experienced outlook on our problems here at home have stood in shining contrast to the collection of broken promises, neglected problems, and disastrous blunders that paved the road from Gettysburg to the White House. Of course, in a democracy, it's not enough to have the right man, but first he must be elected. He must show the nation that he is the right man, that he is a winner. And I say we have a winner. The man who became governor of the great state of Illinois in 1948 with the largest majority in the history of the state of Illinois. The man who in 1956 has shown in primary after primary that he, and only he, is the top vote-getter in the Democratic Party. And let us be frank about the campaign in the days ahead. Our party will be up against two of the toughest, most skilled campaigners in American political history. One who takes the high road and one who takes the low road. If we are to overcome this combination in November, this convention must nominate the candidate who can best carry our case to the American people, the one who is, by all odds and by all counts, the most eloquent, the most forceful, and our most appealing figure. These, as I have said, are critical times, times that demand the best we have, times that demand the best that America has. We have, therefore, an obligation to pick the man best qualified, not only to lead our party, but to lead our country. The nation is entitled to expect this of us. For what we do here today affects more than a nomination, more than an election. It affects the lives and way of lives of all Americans. The time is ripe. The hour has struck. The man is here, and he is ready. Let us go forth from this convention telling the American people that we have fulfilled our responsibility to the nation.